you guys. I'm going to be doing another review of another spy camera that I bought on Amazon. This is a bit different to my previous spy camera reviews that are on my channel because of the fact that this is a more expensive camera, and each review I've done so far has been of very cheap cameras that I bought on eBay. And they cost me about like £5 to £10, whereas this one cost me close to £50. So it's a much higher quality camera. And it's much better, basically. It's still, it's not too expensive. It's still quite affordable for anyone, but it's definitely more expensive than the previous ones that I've done. Now, this SD card, micro SDHC, which is 128 gigabytes, did not come with this product. That's my very own. I bought that separately. And it's not actually the ideal SD card to use with this, because in the instruction booklet they recommended that I use a micro SD which has between 8 to 30 gigabytes of storage, whereas this one is obviously 128. But luckily I found out that it still works, you guys. It still works quite well. They ask you to format it into FAT32 or something like that. I didn't even need to do that. It just works for me. It might not work for everyone though, so I would recommend using the one that they asked you to. So let's have a look at this then. So you can see that the camera is positioned right here. And you're supposed to clip this part of it onto a t-shirt, like so. So then it will look like a pen, and this part will be hidden. And all of this will be hidden. That's the idea. This is the mic, that's the reset button. You can tell. And this is the SD card slot, of course. Now, it's a bit tricky getting the SD card in, I found. And I had to use one of these. A paperclip also works quite well. But yeah, you can't do it with your fingers. I tried so much to do it with my fingers. I just couldn't do it with my fingernail at all. So, anyway, let's have a look. This right here, this toggle, is to control whether you want your footage to be low definition or high definition. The advantage of the lower definition is that you get more storage for less space, if you know what I mean. Like, if you have high definition, then it takes up much more storage in a shorter space. I personally much prefer lower definition. I never use high definition. To be honest, I can't even imagine why someone would even want high definition on a camera, a remote camera like this. If I want a high definition camera, then I would just buy like a proper one. So anyway, I've always thought that was pointless. I think these companies should focus on like storage and making efficient use of storage rather than high definition. That's just my personal opinion. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? And before we start, I will say that the quality is really good, you guys. You can just tell from how shiny it is. The material feels very polished and high quality, unlike the other cameras that I reviewed. The other cameras just have a really cheap feeling about it. That's because they are cheap, because they were much cheaper than this one. This cost me 50 quid, so I would expect this quality. And it's worth it, you guys. It's really worth it. The quality is much better than the previous cameras in every way. So the money was really worth it. And there's another amazing thing about this camera, is how simple it is to operate. So many of these hidden cameras, they just make it way too complicated to operate. For example, I've bought cameras that you have to hold a button for like 5 seconds or 10 seconds to activate different modes, like, for example, video mode, 5 seconds, photo mode, 10 seconds, things like that. And it's just too complicated. And when you're out and about and you suddenly need to use this, you just can't be doing things like that. So these folks have made it much easier. And they've done that by just putting a button here at the top. So this button, this big button that you can see, is pretty much all you need. And you just have to press that once. You don't really need to do anything else. So the simplicity is amazing. I just love how simple it is. If there's an improvement that I could have suggested to this company, it's to make this clip stronger. I mean, it's already quite strong. It's not flimsy, but I would make it even stronger because you have to clip this part onto various items of clothing. Hopefully a t-shirt, but sometimes you might not be in a position where you can do that, so you might need to do it on something thicker like a jacket, in which case, if it breaks, that will be really nasty. It's quite strong though, so it's okay. And this is the indicator. This is where the light will flash. Now, another thing that I really like about this camera is that, first of all, the indicator is positioned away from the camera, which is here. There's many cameras that place the indicator right underneath the lens, which is not good. This is away, so if there's any flashing, then no one will see it. It's well hidden. So time to turn it on, you guys. Let's turn this on. Let me show you how it works. First of all, we need to open this. Let me open this up. So, this is it. And you can just plug this directly into the computer. They've also given you a charging cable, so you can use that. Oh crap, I forgot to put this in. I need to put this in before it works. So I finally managed to get the SD card in there. Let me just... It's time for me to show you how it works, you guys. You gotta press like this for 2 seconds. Now it's flashing. So when it's flashing, that's when you know it's actually recording. I just did some filming there. I'm in a really disgusting room, so I don't want to film my room. I just filmed my computer instead, just to show you. So this means it's recording. And just press once. And that's it. It stopped recording. And it's on standby. And to turn it off, you just have to keep... And it's finished. That's it. Another thing I found is that it doesn't recognize the SD card when you plug it into the computer directly. So what I just do is take the SD card out and put it directly into my computer. That's the only way I can do it, unfortunately. Or if you have a phone, then you can try putting it in your phone and then plug it in that way. But it just doesn't recognize it when I do it using this, which is unfortunate, obviously. But maybe that's just because my card is not the ideal one that I'm supposed to use with this. But yeah, I mean, this is an excellent, excellent camera, you guys. I tested it out quite a few times and it worked really well for me. I mean, maybe other people had different experiences, but this just worked really, really well for me. I'm going to be giving them a 5-star review on Amazon. You guys might be wondering why I'm so obsessed with these hidden cameras, because I make a lot of reviews of these type of things on my channel. And I've already explained this sort of in one of my previous videos, but it's just because I've had some really bad experiences with people in my life, like bullying and abuse. And when I got bullied, I felt like my bullies just got away with it because no one was watching or witnessing what they were doing. So I found it really hard for me to prove what they were doing. And I used to wish that I had a camera to film them, that they couldn't see, and that would just be brilliant. So that's why I buy these, and I'm going to keep these on me from now on. And if I just run into any kind of trouble, these babies will help me out. I think that's the best way of dealing with anyone who is cowardly, I guess. Because you see, bullies and abusers, they treat you like crap when they think no one's watching. So isn't it great when something's actually watching them? That's just brilliant. I came across a news story recently on YouTube where a disabled boy got bullied by this nasty teacher, and his father sent him in with like some kind of a wire or a hidden camera, and it worked out beautifully. And the teacher was exposed, and what she did was exposed. And the school kind of defended the teacher, and they said that it was wrong for the father to do that. And that I thought was disgusting, because like, why would you have a problem with that if you behave properly in the first place? You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I mean, this is a really awesome product, you guys.